I'm the maker behind noorsknits. I um, started off selling finished items, but now I've moved on to designing baby and kids knit and crochet pieces. And Bonnie is amazing because she is also a fellow designer. She's also a mama maker, and I fell in love with her feed when I saw it. And before we get kicked off again, I'm just gonna start off. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Bonnie. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Bonnie. I'm on a similar maker journey, I think, where I started crocheting and now I've come to designing and I'm really starting to dive into that and having a lot of fun with that. And yeah, my favorite baby stuff. That's what I want to make all the time.
It's amazing. I know, it's so fun to make. How many years have you been crocheting for and then like designing?
I've been crocheting for about 5 years and designing for now I can't remember, it was 2 or 3, 2 years. 2 years I think was my first crochet pattern came out 2 years ago.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I especially love your pinafore design. It's so, so cute and just classy. Like I love it. Um, what are some of the current whips that you're working on?
I mean, I have so many, and I just thought of a new pattern yesterday and was wasting time
Ooh,
drawing pictures of
exciting.
that. But I have my newest bonnet pattern is coming out, so that's kind of a whip. I always consider whips up until I release it. It's my whip. And then,
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
things in various stages. I have a whole pile of things that ends need to get put into for mailing out because I do still sell finished pieces. So
Finished
yeah,
product.
so
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
yeah. Thank you.
I love seeing your makes out in the wild. You have the cutest babes
Oh
on your feed.
yeah,
They're so cute, all the little
yeah.
kiddos.
That's
I
probably
bet it's so like nice seeing that.
yeah. I my second favorite part of it is probably sending pieces to people to get photos back. Like I just really like the
Hmm.
photos. I'm like,
Right.
I'm just making this because I want a photo. I don't even care about crochet.
I know. Exactly. So what is your favorite thing to design and why?
I think bonnet is definitely when you first asked me that, I was like, I don't know, like just kids' clothes. But it's bonnets because this is my
Yeah,
third
bonnet.
pattern, and then I've got two more that I'm writing. So I have like five
Wow, nice.
bonnets. So
That's
definitely,
awesome. That's so
yeah.
awesome. I love them. They're so cute. And I think bonnets are something that's always gonna be around, like,
Mhm.
in terms of like kids' pieces. Like they go with so many different outfits
Yeah,
and they're just,
yeah.
they're timeless. They're a timeless piece.
Yeah, they
So
are. And I
I think
love
it's
it.
really
People will
cool.
be like, oh, bonnets are so old fashioned. And I'm like, well, my mom wore them, and there's pictures of me
I
wearing them, and now
know.
my kid's wearing them. So they're not old
Yeah,
fashioned.
exactly, exactly. I think like it depends on, you can make them modern too. Like it
Hmm.
doesn't have to be like in an old-fashioned
Yeah,
style. So I
yeah,
think
you
that's really
definitely can.
cool.
There's some really cool modern prints and things that people do with bonnets now. It's a lot of fun.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. What are some of your goals for the year as a designer, as a maker?
I'm just writing as many patterns as I can. Like, I'm going to be transitioning away from finished
Right.
pieces and just am looking forward to maybe designing some items for moms or around the house and other areas and stuff. So,
That'll be really nice. That'll be really nice. I find that too, like, like sometimes step aside from like just the baby and kids things, and I'm like, oh, like I'll make it for myself, but then, it'll turn into a pattern.
yeah.
So yeah. What else did I want to ask you? How do you balance mom life and making?
Um, well, not very well, but um,
This is kind of like a loaded question because all of us, I think we're struggling with
yeah,
this, but we still make things happen, you know?
yeah, yeah. And I think that's just I just do it like just whatever I can every day. And really, if you want to get something done, you usually find
Mm.
something in you to get it done. So just as much as
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can, the best you
A little
can.
bit of, a little bit each day.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it goes a long way, a little bit
yeah,
each day. Like you just
exactly.
working up towards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Any advice that you had for fellow mama makers? Like, what's your top piece of advice, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, just keep going. Just get up every day and do things that make you happy and that you're passionate about, and do things that you need to do because you know it's right to do, and you'll just, you'll flourish in everything. Just keep going.
That's so true. That's such good advice. That's so true. Um, so let me see. We had a few questions as well. Let me see. So tips for getting testers. That's something, that's a question that popped up when I put up the boxes of my stories on Instagram.
Okay, tips for getting tested. Well, I do my tester calls on Instagram. There are pattern testing groups on Facebook that you can join that are really good to help you, and they help you vet
Mm-hmm.
people that are going to show up for you and do what they say they're going to do. Um, I use people multiple times when I find people that I trust. It takes a little bit of time to build it up, but just
Yeah, yeah,
you'll react to people. You go, oh, I like their feed. Their feed is cool. I'm gonna send it to them, or they'll reach out and say something to you
right.
that, and you're like, oh, I remember they wanted to test, and you'll just kind of find a tribe of
Yeah.
people as you make connections with them naturally through the testing process.
Exactly,
Um,
exactly. And then like you just it's good to also build like basically building a tester base,
mhm,
like
mhm.
getting a good group of people who like if you're thinking of designing long term, like it's good to have that group of people to like keep going back to like you said.
Yeah,
But yeah, it definitely helps like making connections first and just kind of like
yeah,
going with the flow,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
Um, and then tips for launching your business or getting your patterns or designs out there, like in the world. Like, I guess this person is talking more about like marketing and like, just kind of like, getting out there, getting noticed.
Just put it out there, like a lot, I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah,
Like talk about it, tell people about
so
it,
important.
take pictures of it, incorporate it into your life so it's there and it's part of it. Like Autumn wears crochet out all the time. Like I just kind of put it in there.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh yeah, and I design, and here's a business card.
I love that. Just so cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just make um, people buy things that they have a connection with, and if you don't ever show it to them, they can't form a connection with it. So just share about it.
that's so
Yeah,
true. That's a good point.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Put it out there. Let people see it.
Yeah, and even like yeah, when you go out and stuff, like you just have to talk about yourself and talk about your business. Like a lot of times we just kind of pass it off as like a side hustle or something we're just doing on the side, but it is so much more than that if we're serious about it, if we want to make it,
Right.
make it
Yeah.
big. Then you have to like really, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is scary, but you'll get used to
Mm-hmm.
it. Yeah, once you keep doing it. So I think that's so important. What else? So somebody else asked, where do you guys come up with your, I think Amber asked this from Amber, from Bliss This,
Yeah.
Amber Bliss This, I
Yeah.
think that's her handle. Yeah, she's so funny. I love
Yes.
her. She said, where do you guys come up with your ideas or like, I guess she's talking about inspiration. So if you want to share, like, where do you get your design ideas from?
I think mostly I just look at clothes, and I try and look at not crochet clothes. Like I'll just get online and I'll look up like fall toddler fashion, and I'll just look through all of it. And most of the time there's a piece of clothing or something, and I go, oh, that's really cute. I bet I could crochet that, make a crochet version of it. And then I try. And so I
Hmm.
think the best place to look
And that's your design.
is just out in things you naturally are drawn to, and then try and recreate it.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you come up
Same thing
with
with
it?
me. Like
Yeah.
I draw a lot of inspiration from my son, like, just like everyday things that, he does or like just, small minor things and like his clothes too, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
fashion is such a big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that and sometimes pattern because she was saying how like I think patterns just come to her, like it's not something she's actively doing or something she's actively looking at. but it just kind of comes. And that happens to me too sometimes. Like recently I did the Scully corn bag, and it just like came to me, I just started and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I started with the concept of just a candy corn and that it should have a face on it, but then it turned into this thing. So
Yeah.
like, it
Just
happens like
going with
that
it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let the creation
Yeah, just
roll.
going with the
Yeah.
flow sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I think my first Tunisian crochet pattern, which was the creamsicle crochet baby blanket, that also just kind of like came to me.
Hmm.
I was actually sitting down to do like a fall design, and that just like came out of nowhere. It was the end of summer, so I guess I was like sad summer was leaving or something, and it just kind of flowed. I'm like, okay, I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So I just went with it. But yeah, sometimes you'll find, inspiration in just like the smallest things, and
Right.
like sometimes it'll just come to
Yeah.
you, you're not actively
Yeah.
looking. So
For sure.
yeah, that's why I think it's so important to like take a break too. I've been talking about this a lot over on Instagram. Like as makers, we tend to like just focus on making for others or for the business, but it's also important to take a step back and just make for ourselves and just kind of like free our mind, because that's how creativity flourishes. Like if you
Hmm.
take a step back and you're just doing things, just relaxing, then, things will come more naturally.
Right.
So I started a hashtag on Instagram, and it's make for yourself. So basically, just making things for yourself. So anytime you slow down or something like that, I'd love if you use the hashtag and tag me, and I would love to feature your work. So that's something that I'm trying to do as a reminder for myself first, but
Yeah.
also
No,
for
that's
everyone
good.
else too. So
Important. Yeah.
yeah,
Got to know yourself.
yeah. Um, yeah, so that's something that I've been trying to do for just kind of like the inspiration aspect, like taking a break and just kind of refresh. Um, so another thing was tips for pattern grading, and this is something we discussed before Connect, like when we were just talking about the live and preparing for the live. But yeah, pattern grading. What are your comments?
Um, I don't think you can ever have enough information on measurements. Like I have
Yeah,
saved pictures of average measurements and stuff. But I don't know. Trying to think. Like get testers that can try it on for you, or find
yeah,
friends and family that you can at least like two, three of those sizes, get them on somebody that wears that size and make sure it's okay. And then you
yeah.
can trust the grading of the other sizes a little more if you can work in between them. Um, yeah, that helps a lot. Um, there's the standards on
So I think testers,
campaigns.
yeah, because I think testers come into big play in that aspect. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to make sure you have like a good round of testers with like a lot of different sizes, so you can make sure that it's gonna fit those
Yeah,
sizes before you go ahead and release
right.
the pattern. So I think that's something I'm working on right now. Like I'm just trying to get testers so that I have all the different sizes, so
Yeah,
that I can go ahead and
yeah,
start doing that. But I think that's such a big part of it
yeah.
too, like you said.
I try
Yeah.
really hard too to make my patterns work in a way where they could be adjusted pretty easily. The waist is adjustable, the
Yeah.
legs are adjustable, the length, all of that, so that when people get a hold of my pattern, they can adjust because everybody's shaped so differently, especially little kids.
Oh yeah, especially with
Mhm.
kids. Yeah, especially with kids. Like each baby is different, each kid is
Yeah.
different. So yeah, that's so true. So do you include, because I'm wondering, like from a designing perspective, then do you include like a formula then for them to like plug in the numbers, like
Um,
just for that
yeah,
part,
I try
basically?
to. So I have the finished measurements. I always give those at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout my pattern, I try and add places like if you need this is the waistband. If you need it to be bigger, add so many stitches, or smaller, add so many stitches. And the construction is usually in a way where the length can be adjusted really easily by just changing rows, and then I'll tell people the measurements they're supposed to be hitting as they go. So then they know exactly where they need to change. If they have a tall baby, they need to add length here, and not maybe like my baby girl. She's really tall, but
Yeah,
she's thin. So I put her in a little tiny waist, but then the bigger size for length. And so I can adjust.
but it has to be taller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's so good to have. And I think it helps having schematics too, right? Like actually drawing out like where to make those changes and things like that. So I think that also
Yeah.
helps. Um, any other questions? Is anyone on here? I don't know
Yeah.
if anyone's like actually. I see Serafina. Hi, Serafina. She's been commenting. Let me
You
see.
missed
She
sleep.
said,
Was that because
maybe
you
try doing live from your phone. Vintage style is coming back. Yes, that
hmm
is so true.
hmm
Team no sleep. Yes, I can relate with
Yeah.
that. I'm sure Bonnie can too.
hmm
Some days are like that where, you have
Yeah.
to just keep
I'm just
blowing
gonna stay
it.
up another half hour
Yeah.
and finish this, and then it's like 1 in the morning. You're like,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That happens with me too. Um, so like a couple of things that are going on my end. If you guys didn't see, I did a collab with Darn Good Yarn recently. So I posted about that yesterday. They sent me some sari silk wrap skirts, and I did like a review and a styling guide over on my blog. So I actually have that link up in my bio. I think it's also on Facebook here, but the link in my bio will be like the first post. So that's something that's new this week. The 30 days of cozy ended, which I'm kind of sad about. It was a bundle. I mean, it's still there. It's available for like double the price, but it's like a bundle of 30 plus really cozy patterns.
all those patterns are great.
And yeah, yeah. So I have a blog post up about that as well, and a couple of patterns. This one is a free pattern if anyone's interested. It's a free crochet pattern. It's called a Scully corn bag. So you can actually get to it from the link in my bio as well. It's perfect for Halloween. It's like a little trick or treat bag. And then I have this that I released recently. It's like a crossbody bag. So those are just a couple of my patterns. You want to talk about some of yours? Like if you have anything right now that you have up,
Yeah, so
if you want to just let everyone know.
my crossing paths bonnet, my next little pixie bonnet, is going to go live tomorrow, so you can get that pattern tomorrow. Um,
Yay, so
the next
excited.
free pattern is going to be the flared leg warmers. I've shared them a couple times on my feed, and I'm going to be looking for testers for that soon.
Ooh.
So if you want to try testing,
Ooh, those are gonna be so cozy.
they're fun. They're fun way
That's
to
gonna be
add a
really
little
nice.
bit of crochet.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, let me see. Hey, oh, and Claire's here too. I'm so sorry. Hi, Claire. And then Serafina said, "Hey, my hubby conflicts me when I say I'm tired." And I was like, "You can choose to sleep now and the kids go to bed because they will be up at the crack of dawn. Gotta give and take, but I'm not an early riser unless I have to."
Yeah.
Yep. I'm kind of like that too, yeah. But I mean, I've learned to start being an early riser
Yeah.
because of my son.
Mhm.
Yeah, because he has to get off to school, and my husband can't do everything in the morning. Like he'll be getting ready for work, and I have to
Yeah.
get Bubs ready for work. So, how do you get connected with designer group collaborations like that? So the 30 Days of Cozy, I was invited by Pam. I connected with her like a year ago, I think. I joined her. She has a business academy, Crochet Business Academy, Crochetpreneur Business Academy, where she helps like crochet businesses like, with everything, like the marketing, like she teaches a bunch of methods and everything. And she has really great resources in there as well. But I connected with her through that last year, and then she sent out an email. She invited a few people, but you know what? It's always good to ask. Like sometimes we feel really intimidated and we don't ask, but all it takes is like one email or one, just reach out to people, especially if they have it in their bio that they're looking to collaborate. Just email them, send them a message, and the worst thing you can hear is a no. But that means you just move on to the next opportunity, and I think that's so important to do. Like we just get stuck in this like, oh, fearful phase where we're just like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen, so we're not even going to try. But if you don't try, you won't get exposed to all these other opportunities and things like that. So just reach out. Honestly, I reached out to Clover and I was able to do a collaboration with them. Even Darn Good Yarn, I reached out to them. So, like, honestly, just email and see if they have anything available for you at the time, and just you know, just go with it and then move on to the next one if there's nothing there for you.
I want to do clover.
And yeah, you should reach out to because you do so much crochet. Definitely reach out to
That's
them.
what I was going
Clover is great to work with and also darn good yarn. I had a good experience working with them. So, I mean, if you're an up and coming designer and you want to like, reach out to people, just do it.
to. Yeah.
And you never know, it'll take you places. So, I also, let me see. So I did Clover and Darn Good Yarn. There's also lovecrafts.com, what was previously Love Crochet and loveknitting.com. They also have like a designer area on there because you can upload your patterns on there as well for free. Like there's no charge or anything. You can just join as a designer and upload on there as well. So that's a whole other platform for you to have your patterns on.
Mhm.
And you can also reach out to them as well if you're looking to do collabs. Like they do yarn support, I believe, but always, just reach out to them and see if they have any opportunities available. I know Knitpicks is also good, and Mary Maxim official. Mary Maxim is another yarn company, and I think it's just a matter of just reaching out to them. Oh, and what platform do you use for your blog? I have Squarespace, but I am thinking of switching to Shopify because of the option to have some items sell from your IG page. Never could get my Squarespace to work. Right now, I'm using Bluehost for hosting, but it's based on WordPress, but it's hosted through Bluehost. So that's what I'm using for my blog right now. Um, but yeah, it's blogging is a whole other thing. I'm sure Bonnie can tell you that too. She just recently started a blog too, and it's a lot of work, but it's a little bit at a time again.
Yeah. Learn as you go,
Yeah,
definitely.
ex- exactly. I've joined Debras's masterclass. I've heard a lot about
Hmm.
her masterclass as well. She's really great too. I love her feed.
Yeah.
So nice to just like look at, Uh, and get me some soda. I definitely feel that sometimes I'm starting out only 600 followers bare, right? So I always feel a bit of a noob to contact the bigger companies. I know, but you shouldn't. Honestly, the worst thing they can tell you is that they don't have anything right now, but at least you've opened the door. Like you set your foot through the door and let them know that, hey, you're looking for something. So in the future when they do have something, they might reach out to you. So it's just talk to everybody. And also like at the same time we have to be genuine like on Instagram, Facebook, just be yourself and make those connections because I think without making real connections it's really hard to move forward as well. So I think that's really important.
I'd say almost also don't be afraid to do collabs with people that are more in your, like if you're worried Clover isn't going to be interested because you only have 600 followers, find somebody else who's trying to start a blog and doing that you can collab with who's 600 followers as well because you're still working together and up in the audience you have to 1200 together.
Exactly, exactly. Doing these lives is my way of also like helping fellow makers out and also connecting with other makers through these lives. Just because, for instance, Bonnie's followers are going to see my content, and then my followers are going to see her
Mm-hmm.
content. So it's a way of like, give and take and, the maker world because it is hard to get noticed if it's just you doing everything all on your own. So definitely reach out and I am more than happy to help as well if you're interested in doing a live with me. Like right now I'm hosting mama makers and also people of color who are like designers, so if you're interested reach out to me and then we can work on that too. I've got yarn support from Love Crafts. I only have 200 followers. That's awesome. They supported me when I had 100 something. That's
Awesome.
really great. See, like they're really great. I think I think a lot of people just don't know, so they don't know to reach out to these companies. But they're so they're so great with like the community that they're trying to build. Like they're just trying to like help designers. Basically, that's their goal. That's awesome. All right. I had such a good time talking with you, Bonnie. Finally,
Yeah,
after like
thanks
half an hour, we made it work.
for technical difficulties.
Thanks for bearing with me the whole time
Yeah.
and just like, jumping from Instagram to Facebook and then back and forth like that. But I had such a good time talking to you. And if there's anything else you want to mention before we head off, I'm gonna actually select a winner from all the people who commented on here. I'm also gonna try and go back to Instagram and remember who joined. Like I'll try to, because I think I saw a few names on there. And even if you remember someone from your followers that joined in,
Yeah.
just send me a
Yeah.
message, and I'll add them to the list, and we'll do a draw for a free pattern from Bonnie, her amazing selection.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I had so much fun.
Me too. I hope you have a great rest of your Whip Wednesday and get some of those patterns
Yeah.
done. And I'm excited to see your pattern release tomorrow. I'll definitely be sharing
Oh,
it.
awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.